Good evening and g'day, mate, and welcome back to Dyson Sphere with me, Jenny, and of course, the wonderful Mr. Iron Man. Now, in today's episode, I've got a couple of plans, a couple of things that I need to do, mainly around, well, green science and a bunch of upgrades, which means, well, we need to get today's episode started. But before we get the episode started, I need to ask that very important question before we get the science and the upgrades done. Can I borrow a like? I just like to borrow a like. I like to borrow a like early in the video. If you're not happy with the video, you didn't enjoy the video, well, the generous Mr. Iron Man has said, by all means, you can have your like back, but it means you can't have his nightlight. Yes, because I've gone updated the mods again. Small mod this time. We already had a nightlight, but this one's slightly different because this one with the couple of different buttons, I can. Oh, wrong button. I can change the angle of the sun. This is, as far as I'm concerned, very, very important. And I had to wait for a lovely modder. One of the guys that happens to work on Galactic Scale mod, which is a mod that we'll need to talk about sometime in the future, to, reach out to me, come back to the community, and I asked him to update this lovely mod because I can change the angle of the sun, which means on planets like this, which are awfully light, it doesn't become glaring when you stand on them and have, well, it's daytime. Also need to point out that there is a whole lot of, well, as you can see, exhaust trims heading back to the old planet because in the last episode, we did head over here and I did tap a bunch of coal. In fact, if we change this to not yet planned, I've pretty much tapped all 9 million coal. So coal is now sorted, which means we should have purple science running because that was one of our problems. By the same token, coal is coming into here, and as you can see, there's a massive request and it's getting here slowly, but we're not quite there yet. So whilst we wait for the rest of the coal to pop in and things catch up, there's a couple of things I need to do. The first thing I need to do is I need to do science, because there's a couple of things we need to get done with science so we can actually set up green science. So we do have unlocked, and we're actually working on, well, one of the components right now, Mecha Warp. So I want to get warp technology. That's going to be very, very important. It means we can get outside this system. We can start bringing in resources from elsewhere. More importantly, we can start accessing some rare resources, because that's what I really need. I really need some rare resources just to improve our production lines. Now, with Mecha Warp, we can, and we've already got unlocked, the ability to turn our graviton lenses into warpers, which is a 1-to-1. It's not too bad. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. But if I had the gravity matrix unlocked, I could take my graviton lens and add a quantum chip to it. Now, once I add a quantum chip to it, I get 2 green science. And with my 2 green science, if I then convert them into warpers, I get, well, 16 warpers, which means the cost of a warper is, well, a graviton lens, or if you add a quantum chip to it, you get 15 bonus warpers for very cheap, let's put it that way. So I want to get this technology unlocked before I jump through getting warpers up and running, which means we need to unlock this, which is yellow science. That sounds okay, except I need a couple of prerequisites. The one thing I need is the wave function interference, which is, purple science. Yeah. So I need to get 2 Hawaii. I need to spend 200 purple science there. I also need to unlock quantum chips, so I can actually make the quantum chips, which is another 800 purple science. And then we can unlock the gravity matrix, which means I can start making the green cubes and therefore start making the warpers. There's a catch. One of the catches being, I need to also unlock logistics warp. My logistics vessels can use warp. Otherwise, I need to go and, well, mine things and then fly it home myself, which is not something I want to do, which is another 1,000 purple science. So we're now at 2,000 purple science. The other thing that's going to be very, very important is I need to actually unlock universe exploration, which is another 1,000 purple science. So we can then, well, we can have an idea what's in the system rather than me having to fly all the way there and then find out when I arrive, which is not something I particularly want to do. So I need to unlock this as well. So that's going to be our plan for our research for right now. That is a total of 3,000 purple science, which is maybe a problem because I don't really have that much purple science. Speaking of purple science, if we go to this side of the planet, we can see that I have about 1600 in stock, and I have some of the particle broadband, and particle broadband is being held up by the lack of nanotubes, and nanotubes are being held up by, well, the lack of graphene, and the lack of graphene is by the lack of coal, but we're now shipping in coal, so that'll catch up eventually. But there's a couple of problems, a couple of mistakes I made in previous episodes. One thing I've been trying to do, I've been trying to do this a little bit subtly, but I've been trying to make sure that this side of the planet has mainly science on it, okay? There are some exceptions, like we have juice right here. Juice I think is important, and I have no issue having juice up here with science because it's sort of important. But I have, blue science, and I have red science, and we have yellow science, and then I have magnetic particle containers, frame material up here. Then I have purple science along with, well, the optical fiber for purple science. So these two are in the wrong spot. So I sort of want to move them. So what we're going to do is we're going to set you up for supply, 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 and set you to 1%. Also going to set you for supply, 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 and 1%. So hopefully this stuff gets shipped, well, out of these stations. And I want to go redo those two builds, and I want to go do them over here. So we're going to jump straight into blueprints, and I'm going to throw down particle broadband because we're just literally moving a build from one spot to another. And I want to pop you... No, I don't want to put you up there. I want to reserve that part of the world for other things. Okay, so I want to pop you right there. Cool. All those babs and stuff gets instantly built. Okay, now I do need to set you to 100%. I also need to put some requests in here. Can I do a demand with a demand with a demand? And I need to also go in here and I need to find the hat for you guys and just grab half of those. Cool. Because they're going to be important. I need to make sure you're set up for the other type of green, that type of green. And click that and guess filter. And you're going to request, except I don't have any fidget spinners. Can I get some fidget spinners, please? Cool, 200. And they're on their way, but I prefer them right now. So we're just going to reach across here. Reach into the depths of fidget spinners, that one. And again, I just right click to get half. And there we go. Okay, so you're now up and running. On top of that, we wanted frame material, which I want to put right here. And I'm out of assemblers. I'm also out of planetary logistics stations. So can I find planetary logistics stations? Right, let's get half. And can I actually set up to have just this will do. Actually, no, just give me the assemblers. Just give me the assemblers manually. Actually, just give me right click, drag to the right, and just grab all of them. Okay, so I want to have you running as well. You're already set up with a request. You should kick into action. You're already set as well, so you should be fine. Okay, the other thing that I forgot to do, and I put down frame material previously, but I didn't mean to. I meant to put down super magnetic rings. And again, we're just going to change this by basically using a downgrade planner before I build it. And I want to dump you here. Cool. All right, so none of these builds are temporarily complicated. You know, particle containers is literally, it's 3 items in. So I just have the 3 belts on the outside, and then they hit through a couple of assembly machines. Nothing too complicated. Frame material, same story, is 3 items in to 1 frame material. And this one's a little bit unique in the fact that we have, well, our output is on this side and wraps all the way around and comes back up through the middle. And then we have 2 outputs here, two outputs here, 2 outputs here, and 1 output here in the middle, the one that's missing, which also needs to wrap all the way around to this side. And this is just because this has an incredibly long craft time of 6 seconds compared to a lot of other things that craft a whole lot faster. And you don't have inserters. Okay. We also need to set a request for you, and you. Demand, a demand, a demand. You need to be changed to the other version of blue. And can I reset you as well? Okay, and turns out I need sorters. Can I go to... Oh, okay. Quantum chip. Okay, actually just give me all of those. Okay, all right. So that should be those builds up and running. I need these running. I need these up and running because, well, these are items that I need on the bus. I need these on the bus and running for a number of reasons. Speaking of the bus, we need to go do some things about the bus. We almost have green science complete, but there's a couple of things I need to do. So I'm going to come here and I want to take all the iron out of there, take all of those out of there. I want to make sure that we're not going to use Mark 1 sorters anymore. Okay, we're just going to set this to 0. Collect them all. Okay. Oh, somebody messed up the painting and didn't do any painting down the middle. Oops. Cool. That's what happens when you paint the dark. Okay, so can I come back to you? So I want to make sure that, actually we should talk about this. So sorters. Mark 1 sorter is, well, a piece of iron and a green circuit. Okay, and as you can see, they make 1.5 trips per second per grid. Okay, what that actually translates to is every single time they need to move one tile, this. They could do that in one, they can do 1.5 of those trips per second for one grid tile. Okay, so for here to here, they can go from this side to this side and halfway back in 1 second. Okay, but if it's 3 tiles, well, they're going to go 1.5 in 1 second, then a half and a 1 in another second. So it takes 2 seconds for them to go from here to here, which means for some of these builds, these ones, these are going 3 tiles. So this is going to take them 2 seconds for a Mark 1 sorter. So on the bus, especially on the bus, it's a massive upgrade to go from a Mark 1 sorter to a Mark 2 sorter. As you can see, it's now moving 3 per second. It's an even bigger upgrade if you get to a sorter Mark 3, because not only does it double as speed, but it also has cargo stacking. So if we go back into research and we go to upgrades, you can get very cheaply where is that upgrade? Here. Sorter cargo stacking. So the sorter Mark 2 can then carry 2 items, or 3 items, or 4 items, or 5 items, or 6 items. This is yellow science, okay? It's not that far into the tree, which means they are amazingly good. So what I want to do is I want to say I don't want Mark 1 sorters anymore. I want to go to Mark 2 sorters. I don't want those anymore. What I do want is I want Mark 3 sorters. I would like to have 400 of these guys. Now, Mark 3 sorters require green engines, which is not too bad. We have plenty of those, so we should be able to get these done fairly quickly. So that's the first upgrade I want to do, okay? I also want to go to you. I want to make sure that you have room for a little bit more capacity. You, room for more capacity. And the Mark 3 ones are all the way over here. And I want to make sure I have room for lots of capacity, because this is going to become our stock sorter. And I want to grab all the ones in there. Okay, so with this now set to 0 and this set to 0, it means that, well, the robots are going to come and collect all of those that end up in my inventory. So I want to go to upgrades, tier 2 upgrades, 2 levels, so Mark 1 to Mark 3, and sorters. And I want to make sure that I hit every item in the bus. And we're just going to go and slide all the way through here. Just try and tick off every one of them. I'm going to come out to map view because I can do this because of mods. That's as far as I got. So I'm now out of these guys. So where are they? They're right here. Yeah, of course I ran out just before I got to here. And as you can see, this has 20 of them in there, but it can't get them out of the machine fast enough. So I'm going to physically pick those up, and can I just upgrade that one? And as you can see, there's now a massive difference. As they're being built, they're being shoved in the box as fast as possible. So I want to go back to here, and we got to, I don't know, it doesn't really matter because it's not like you can over upgrade them. And we're just going to upgrade all the way along until I run out again. And any of the ones that I end up in my inventory should get shoved into either this box or this box. Okay, so that's the first upgrade I want to do. Second upgrade I want to do is I want to upgrade belt. Okay, I'm using the Mark 1 belt. And there's nothing wrong with the Mark 1 belt. It's all we've got to start with, but it moves things at, well, 6 items per second. The Mark 2 moves things at 12 items per second. And a lot of the builds I've been putting down are all designed to run at least a lot better with Mark 2 belts. I haven't been using Mark 2 belts because I haven't had access to Mark 2 belts. So I want to swap all my belts across to that. Now, I've already set to have 2400 in my pocket. I have no issue with having 2400 in my pocket, but I don't want anything more than 2400 in my pocket. So we're going to make sure that I have 2400, but if I have excess, they're going to come out and they're going to get shoved in here. And I can easily go over this cap, and that's sort of a little bit important that... If they're emptying Icarus's pockets, it can go over the cap of a chest. If it's designed to request from somewhere else, it can't go over that maximum cap. Yes, I should clarify that. So I want to make sure that we're going to get rid of any Mark 1 belt. I want to have Mark 2 belt. Mark 2 belt here. Can I have 2400? 2400. Yeah, cool. I want all the Mark 2 belt. My problem is going to be that although I have plenty in here currently, you are limited by the speed at which you can get more electromagnetic turbines, which come from this machine, and they get shoved in directly. But this guy here has a request to get them from elsewhere. And elsewhere, well, I have this wonderful build over here that makes these things on a industrial scale rather than a single machine. But they don't come from this box to this machine. But that's okay. We have the wonderful bus, and we can make modifications to the wonderful bus. And this is one of those modifications that I highly recommend you do, but you can only do if you, well, they're not in the original blueprint because all the blueprints are limited by the total amount of entities, and trying to retrofit them is difficult. Yes. So me having little retrofits that I add on, it's quite easy to do in game, but to do as a blueprint, incredibly difficult, shy on impossible. So I want to come out from this side. We're going to go 2 tiles. We're then going to go press the up arrow, hold shift to go flat above there. We're going to come out to here. We're going to come out to this tile, and then I'm going to hit the 0 button to come down to ground level. I'm going to go on to that side of that box. I'm then going to make sure that we're going to put a sorter here and a sorter here. So now you can output to the box. You can also still input, output directly, and then we're going to have it run around the outside and come to this machine, which should keep this machine fully flushed with a wonderful belt, because we have some upgrades I need to do. But I want to get these sorters done first. Done. Okay. I can upgrade the ones for the smelters. It's not going to make an ounce of a difference, but we can do it whilst we're here. And then, yoink, 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 yoink. Cool. But then I can call it a day, and you know, all the old sorters can go in here, and as long as I still have these on trash, it means if I go to a different build and we do hit some upgrades, well, then the old ones will get disappeared into storage and get auto upgraded for me. Okay, so that's the first thing I need to do. The second thing I need to do is we have an issue with CPUs. So if we fly over to CPUs, we're gonna see, well, you have a little error message. You don't have any silicon. The reason you don't have any silicon is it can't get out of the tower fast enough. There's plenty of silicon here, but the belt be too slow. So what I want to do is I want to hit belts. I want to hit 1 level of upgrade. And if I highlight the belt and hold shift, sorry, if I highlight the belt and do 1 individual tile, if I press shift, I do the whole chain. So that whole belt, wherever the hell it goes, has all been upgraded to the next tier. I want to do that belt as well. I want to do that belt. 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 I want to do that belt and that belt. Yeah, I'm pretty confident. We're just going to use the square one, and we're just going to do the whole thing. Now, it's going to beep at me a whole lot, because it's going to try and upgrade from Mark 1 to Mark 2, and then potentially from Mark 2 to Mark 3. I don't have Mark 3 belt, so it's just going to give me error sounds, but that's okay. I don't mind the error sounds. Also, if we look at oil, I have plenty of crude oil, but I don't have a whole lot of refined oil. Why? Well, because we can't get the refined oil out fast enough, which technically also means I can't get the oil in fast enough. So, same story. We're just going to come to here. I'm going to do that whole chain, and that whole chain. Cool. They're all upgraded. Yep. Sorters. So, sorters are trying to be upgraded 1 level. I don't have any of those. Belts are trying to be upgraded 1 level. Those I do have. I would like to upgrade the sorters as well, but I want to do those at 2 levels. So we're going to upgrade all of those. That way I don't have to worry about throughput problems for sorters. They're going to be the right speed. Also means that you, 400, I obviously want more than that, 600. Okay, and then if we go look at the wonderful machine making sorters, there is 120 in stock. Why? You're going about as fast as you can go. You're not limited, well, you're limited by machine speed. Now I could upgrade you to the next tier of machine, and if we just have a quick look, see, you have a crafting speed of 0.75, you have a crafting speed of 1, but you also use 540 kilowatts to your 270. So you use twice as much power for a 30% speed increase. I don't need a 30% speed increase. Okay, not that desperately. So we just need to have a larger buffer here, like much larger. And then just accept that, you know, I'm going to have to come through and I'm going to have to upgrade things once or twice or 3 times or whatever it happens to be to make sure that these get done. And I have a capacity of 94 per minute. I've probably got about 94 per... Actually, if we just look at the machine. What's the crafting speed? Where are you? You are making them at a rate of... Wrong one. You are making them at a rate of 45 per minute. So I have 45 per minute coming in. Also want to uncap you a lot. Okay, so that needs to happen. That needs to happen. These are mostly done. And if we look at CPUs, there's still none in stock. But this box is full. This box is the one providing the bus. So the bus is basically eating them. which I have no issue with. You know, I want things on the bus to be running at full speed. Okay, other things I need to do is we need to come here now, right beside where we're making all the sorters and stuff, because there's one more addition I need to make, and that is I need to enable some new technology and also make sure that I do recycling from our loot. Not that we really have a loot situation currently, mainly on the fact that, well, I don't have a farm running. We're hoping to get a farm in the not too distant future, but for right now I don't have one. So I want to put a tower about here will do. Yeah. And you are going to import the end of the bus. We want frame material, that one. I also want to have quantum chips, which I don't have currently, but we're going to hopefully find them in the not too distant future. Optical grading crystal and nanotubes. And these we're going to set a reasonably low request because these are all very expensive and very late game items. I want to add some shippies. We're going to set you 100% capacity and throw a power pole in about here. And then what I need to do, and Mark 1 belts is perfectly fine for this. These are not high throughput items. I want to bring out frame material and I want to bring you to here. Okay, before you even start thinking about running, I have this frame material build right here. I want to actually remove all of that manually, and I want to take that and I want to put that physically in this building. Yeah, because that's going to make miniature particle colliders, which I'm going to need very soon. Okay, so I want to do that one. I then want to do... I didn't tell you what you were meant to remove, but you're going to be that one. Then, of course, this is in the way. Can I pick you up and rotate you? Are you less in the way now? No. Okay. We're just going to bring you up to height 1 and drop you back down afterwards and plug you in there. And then do the same here. Bring you up to height 1 and more height 1 and plug you in there. Okay. So you're going to be quantum chips. You're going to be grading crystal. And you're going to be nanotubes. Okay. And these would hit demand, 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 and demand. They'll come in eventually. Yeah, nanotubes we already know we have an issue with, but, you know, soon, TM, they should start coming in. Okay. You can have all of those that I have stored in my pocket. Cool. And also... you can have all of those I've stored in my pocket. And you're set to 40. Cool. Right. So back to oil. I need to go stop at oil again and upgrade those sorters. Because they actually, they're going maximum distance. So them going faster actually matters. We want to go sorters, 2 tiers. And all of that. Okay. All right, the other one that I have a bit of a shortage of is green motors. Green motors, same story. The belt's not moved fast enough. If we look at these guys, we can see that they don't have any of these magnetic coils, which is both good and bad, mainly in the bad department, because these guys can't output because the belt be too slow. Also, it turns out for some reason I have 1500 magnetic coils in my pocket, which I'd like to get rid of. So can I do a box? A box. We're just going to do that. And technically these come from loot, but I don't think it's going to be a thing that we're going to be looting long term. Okay, I want to do belts first because that's what matters most to me. And I want to do that whole belt. Okay, that should hopefully solve that problem. Now, are any of the other belts too slow? Probably. So we're just going to, wherever possible, upgrade all the belts to tier 2 at least. Generally, tier 2 should fix a lot of problems. Okay. And then whilst we're at it, sorters, we'll do 2 tiers and we'll just upgrade all of these at the same time and done. I can be very, very happy with that build now. How many of these do I have on me? 240. Okay. And how many do you use? I have no idea. But the answer is either going to be more than 240 or less than 240. More than 240. I also don't need that bab there anymore. We can pull you up. No. 18, 17, 13? I don't actually know. It's not really giving me good feedback. Okay. Can I short circuit this? Because I want to move on. Where are... There is none in stock. Because you're out of those. You're out of those because... Why are you out of those? Because you have none. Why do you have none? Because you have no motors. Really? Really? Okay. We might need to do another small modification over you. So what are we doing? We're taking sorters and shoving them in here. And you need motors as well. Oh. You're meant to be here. You're meant to go there. And then same story, motors are meant to be able to go into here. Because again, you have a request from outside. I.e. that spot that we were just looking at with the motor build has a way to put motors into the network, the hat network that is, and then therefore has a way to make sure this chest stays full, just like this chest stays full. Yeah, this has stuff coming in, this has stuff coming in, which means we can now make sure you produce a whole lot faster, 45 per minute, just like you would produce at 45 per minute if the box was not already overstaffed with tier 1 sorters. Okay, so that's going to take a minute to turn on. We're going to do that for the moment because I need some of these, and I need miniature particle colliders, which are here. Do I have any more frame material? No. Okay, where's our frame material? First off, can I go here? Yep. Okay, so this build I want out of the way. So I'm going to area deconstruct everything there to there and pray that I had a bigger inventory. Not quite, but close enough too. Can I put you in the extra logistics slots? Can I put you in the extra logistics slots? And I really need to visit the bus and drop off some stuff. But I should now be able to pick up you. And I also need you to go away. You have 122 of those. We'll pick that up, put that in my pocket. You can have green juice. You'll use it eventually. And remove. Not quite. Yeah, copper set to auto pickup. Okay, where can I shove copper? Copper can go into you. Iron can also go into you. Silicon can go into that one. This is one of the advantages of having towers everywhere. You can physically access them from anywhere on the map. And if I put motors in there, they just disappear. Perfect. Okay, can I remove that as well? And you can go away. Cool. And what do you have? Tiny bit of copper. And did any other bab? You tried to steal my stuff as well. Okay, cool. All right, and the new frame material build that we put down has some frame material, but obviously not enough. All right, and we need to come back to... Wrong one. That one. Okay, so you have nanotubes, but you don't have frame material. Okay, can I come to here? I need to make sure that we get... miniature particle colliders, that one. More frame material. It's in there somewhere. I have 13. Never mind. Okay, I need 8 of you. Okay, all right, have 8 of you. I'm happy. You're happy. All right. Let's go. So we need to go to Science Land, which is this side. And I have 2 builds that we need to put down. One is fairly minor, one is fairly major. Let's start with the minor one first. Okay, so to make green science, which is really our goal. We need to make graviton lenses. Graviton lenses require diamonds. Diamonds, that requires, well, energetic graphite that's been smelted, which is coal, which has been smelted. So basically, diamonds is just coal that you've smelted and smelted and smelted and smelted and smelted. Have you heard about smelting? It's a smelting. So that's not too hard to make. But strange matter. Strange matter comes from a miniature particle collider. It's a special thing. Special thing there. Yes, it comes from a miniature particle collider. It also requires the pink particle containers, plus it requires some iron, plus it requires some deuterium. Previously, whilst I was over on the homeworld, making sure that the homeworld was mined all the coal, I went and visited the gas giant. The gas giant, if we look at not yet planned, is blank because it is covered with all 40 of the orbital collectors. So we have potentially a whole lot of deuterium. That is until we run out. So deuterium should be fine. But it means that, yes, I'm going to throw down a green science build for strange matter. I'm going to be using blueprints because I really think the main point of this playthrough is not putting together unique builds for different parts of science, because we've been able to do that for a long time. I think it's really getting into, well, the dark fog content. I happen to have those on me. You're set up to auto request. You have a giant tower. Giant tower is going to auto request deuterium from the gas giant after it has enough power to actually launch across there. It's also going to bring in some particle containers, which I happen to have some on me, and bring in some iron to make the wonderful strange matter. But I remember how I said miniature particle colliders? This is a miniature particle collider. These things are massive, which is generally a bit of an issue when building these things. Yeah, they basically take out the room of 2 assemblers. They also, I need to turn that back on. They also have 3 inputs and 1 output, which means, as you might notice, these are built back to back because they have room for 3 inputs and then 3 inputs. And on the other side as well, there's another 3 inputs. So I choose to build this with lining that back to back. That way they're a little bit easier to deal with. Otherwise they're massive and long. And bring in my 3 inputs in the back, and then have 2 of them output on the side to actually output the strange matter, which requires the deuterium, which, well, there are no ships here. So they've all launched and they're all off. Really have to just pry on everything that I'm doing, don't you? Wow. Okay. They're all off at the gas giant right now, as you can see, landing, picking up some deuterium, coming back, which should give us some strange matter. Now, I only need about 4 of these to get the amount of strange matter I need for actually, well, doing the science build. But, strange matter is also used here. It is used for the Mark II chemical plant, and I want to say it's used in one of you. It's also used for, well, the destroyers. Now, the recipes are still locked here. Also, the recipe's still locked here, so I don't need these yet, but I do need these in the long run. So what we do need to do is I just need to do a small change to this build, which is I put one of these here. I give it a little bit of output belt for that. I put in a boxy box, and on the boxy box we're going to put a hat. We're going to cap you to like 2 slots. We're going to filter it to strange matter just in case, and we're going to say distribute. You can have some little friends, and you will be able to ship out strange matter when I have some strange matter. Also, strange matter will come from a drop at level 18. We're not at level 18, so not really a thing yet, but in the future, you know, when we get a farm up and running and we can actually start farming again, well, then the dark fog do provide. Okay, so we now have strange matter up and running. That is problem number 1 sorted. Problem number 2 is I need to make quantum chips. Now, quantum chips require CPUs. We have a processor build. It is still doesn't have any processors in it, but at least it's doing better than it was previously, where it had none. Now hopefully it has some. I probably think I need to double this build. I'm pretty sure I need to just pop down another one of these. You still have a lack of silicon because I really need to upgrade these belts to tier 3. The good news is boss. Since undercapping that, I do have tier 3 belt. In fact, we're going to undercap you a whole lot more. And I have the sorters coming in as well. Production, no, belts, production. Yeah, I have plenty of those. And these are being shipped off as fast as the bots can collect them. Yeah. So we have CPUs in a certain extent. Okay. The other thing they require is plane filters. Now, plane filters require some new items as well. The first one being titanium glass. So titanium glass is glass plus titanium plus water. That's okay. We're importing water from the home world, and glass we can make from stone. We have titanium, so that's not an issue. We can make titanium glass. It's not particularly hard to make. We just need a decent amount of it to make plane filters. Plane filters also require the good old cashmere crystals made from cashmere. They require titanium crystals, which we've made previously. They also require graphene, which we've made previously, and they require a butt ton of hydrogen. Good news is we have a gas giant that is full of gas, therefore we have a butt ton of hydrogen, so it shouldn't be a problem. But that'll give us cashmere crystals. Now, cashmere crystals do have an alternative recipe from optical grading crystal, which we're going to swap to eventually, and the difference in the recipe basically means I don't need to make titanium crystals, which means I don't need to deal with the organic crystals, which are a pain in the butt currently, but eventually we're going to get raw materials where I can just mine organic crystal, which sort of makes this alternative recipe a much of a muchness, because, you know, the difference is like none, really is none. It's a little bit less titanium. In exchange, you need a rare resource. So I'm very iffy about swapping to that recipe. Anyway, but let's just get frame material. Okay, frame material is going to take the titanium glass plus the cashmere crystals to give us plane filters. Plane filters are at 12-second crafting, so they're very slow, and that lets us make quantum chips. Might also notice that I need 2 processors, plus I need 2 of the plane filters for 1 quantum chip. So we need a very large plane filter build, plus we need a dedicated CPU build to make the things that are required for the quantum chips. Also means after talking through all that, if I went through and wanted to build all that with you, well, it'd be a dedicated episode. Instead, I'm going to use the blueprint. Because like I said, I really think the point of this playthrough is playing with the dark fog rather than playing with redesigning the wheel. Yeah. Now, because I have friends, or at least past friends everywhere, I am really hoping that you slide in nicely. Can we stop the camera zooming in and out? Very nicely here. Okay, right one tile. Right one more tile. You can't be placed because of one belt. I'm going to shift enter and take that, and we're going to come down here. I also need to take all of those and put them down there. Okay, that belt can go there instead. Solved. And you know what? Can I put a bab right about here? So, this build, can I do you, and you are going to set to the other version of blue, and close and guess. Okay. You have tower number 1. Tower number 1 is going to bring in our water, plus it's going to bring in our glass, plus it's going to bring in our titanium ingots, and it's going to bring in organic crystal, which means my existing organic crystal build, wherever the hell I left that, oil is here, which means organic crystal is here. Organic crystal has had a little bit of time to build up a little bit of a buffer for, well, supplying yellow science, but we're burning through a buffer right now when I turn this build on. Yeah, so this is going to be what's coming in the first tower. Now, the first tower, like I said, glass, water, titanium, is going to make a titanium glass. It ain't complicated, it ain't rocket science, it's pretty basic, it's pretty simple, and that is going to, output belt is this one, it's going to output titanium glass. Titanium glass is going to come over here, and it's going to head off into the plane filters. Also, we need to have the cashmere crystals. The cashmere crystals need titanium crystals. Now, as I've already had to bring in titanium to make our titanium glass, well, I have titanium right here, it's come all the way around the outside, and then it's slid up here, and all I've done is I've brought in the organic crystals, whacked the two together to give us organic crystals, which organic crystals give us titanium crystals. Yeah, organic crystals plus titanium crystals. Yep. Which then is going to come up here, do a 180 after it's been sprayed, and head back this way. Now, that is one of the items we need for, well, the wonderful cashmere crystals. We also need graphene. Graphene, I don't have any of. I haven't had any of for a long time, even though it is trying its hardest, because basically the build's too small. So, graphene, without blueprinting down the foundations, please. And you won't fit there, How, will you fit there? You like being there? I think you like being there. I don't have templates. Really? I thought I had, okay. Delete. Okay, try again. Graphene. We're going to put you right about here. And then because there happen to be Babs sitting here already, well, you're just going to get instantly built. So, problem solved. Yeah, we're going to set you to 100%, I guess. I need to set you to demand, and you should be fine. We, as you can see, now have energetic graphite somewhat in stock. Not quite in stock, but somewhat in stock. So, you know, it's getting there. But that should get that build up and running. Is going to lean into an acid build, which is crap here, which is limited by our refined oil build, which is limited by our belt speed. Because even though we upgraded them 1 tier, these could really do with tier 3 belts. Oh crap, I missed literally the output belts. Oh boy, that's not embarrassing. That's not embarrassing at all. Okay, cool. All right, so yes, we now have, in theory, graphene coming in. Also, I need hydrogen. Hydrogen, we are... No, not you. Not you. Really? I am not importing hydrogen from the gas giant. Okay, well, you have a free slot. We're going to import hydrogen, remote demand, and local supply. Cool. You can also get hydrogen from there, and then we can import it into this tower, and that should solve that problem. Okay, so that should bring in our hydrogen. Now, hydrogen-wise, these guys need 12 hydrogen per craft. So they actually have 2 dedicated belts worth of hydrogen, and they're both tagged onto both belts because we need more than 1 belt to feed this build. The fact that we're spraying it means that I have 11 here. 11. We can just support 11. Okay, so that should give us the cashmere crystals. The cashmere crystals also meet up with the titanium glass, like I mentioned before, and should let us make plane filters, which then we just wrap this material back and forth and back, and then finally get all our plane material, plane filters. Yes, and then the only thing we're adding to that is the belt on the outside is bringing in our CPUs, if I have any CPUs, and going to come down here and give us quantum chips. So this build's going to take a little while to get up and running because of just a general shortage of supply in many different departments, but this should get our science up and running. As you can see, things are slowly coming in. Probably helps if I hit that. Things are slowly coming in. Things are in a queue. They're getting there. All right, so with this build up and running, the only thing I need to do is I need to make green science. So green science, we are going to hopefully find a lovely spot up here where those old builds were, where I can dump you down. This says I'm missing labs, a ILS, no, a PLS, and 2 boxes. I can live with that. Okay, so we're going to dump you there. Okay, I need to go visit the boss, which is green, and he's the senior. And we need to scroll around till we find 2 PLS. Can I grab half of those? And can I also grab boxes? You don't have any boxes in the quantum slots, so boxes. Oh, there they are. And we'll just grab half, and we should be good to go. Oh, labs. I need labs. Same story, labs. I missed another area. It's just embarrassing. Labs. Half of them. And then they stop the spearing, and I'll put the other half back. Cool. Alright, so you are going to be very simple. You're going to bring in diamonds. Good luck. You're going to bring in quantum chips. Good luck. You're going to bring in strange matter. Good luck. And you are then going to take our... Oh, change you to the other green. That's going to be very important. And clear that and guess that. Okay. You're going to bring in diamonds plus strange matter. And we're going to make the graviton lens on site. Okay, so it means I need to have diamonds. So we need to go and make a diamond smelter. Okay, it's going to be very, very easy. We just need to whack together a diamond smelter. Okay, and then they're going to come out here. They're obviously going to get sprayed whilst we bring in the quantum chips. Then we're going to make green science. Green science is going to pop out on this side. And then very importantly, it's going to go through a splitter, which has a priority to go this way. And then it's going to put all my green science into this route here, which is then going to convert all of that into, well, warpers first, because that's what I really want. I really, 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 really want to have warpers before I have anything else. How do we not have... Because you've just fired up. No, because that box is still filling up. Okay. Can you put... Bugger. Demand. And re-enable that filter. Okay, one problem done. All right. So I need to go to smelters. Smelters. Where are our smelters? They're over here. Can I go to this end of my smelters, I guess? Yeah, hydrogen is a bit of an issue. We're burning hydrogen for power, and hydrogen has become something we're also doing other things with currently. All right, I need to blueprint this particular smelter, because that's essentially what I want. I want to have more coal into more energy graphite, plus I also need diamonds. So I'm going to dump you... If I was smart, I would go, you know, one right there and then one right there. And it'll probably fit right here. I'm going to put you right there. Cool. And all that exists in my pocket. And you're going to bring in coal. But I'm going to do some changes. So we're going to make sure... I don't mark my sorters anymore. Can I upgrade the sorters? 2 levels. Done. All right, we're going to do a small change. So I'm going to make sure that the output on... Let's go with this one. The output on this one is actually going to be energy graphite. And I'm going to change it to diamonds. And I'm just going to update all of those recipes so they do diamonds. And I have no idea what the story is with that and why that's broken. And it looks like that's actually broken in my master blueprint. And I don't know why. Okay, but... And it's only broken in the coal version of all things. So you're going to bring in coal. You're going to then give me energy graphite. And then some of that energy graphite, I'm going to instantly turn around and turn into diamonds right here. So this is going to become my diamond smelting, which means in theory I can then get diamonds shipped across to green science, so we can get green science running, because that's what I really need. I really need green science running. And this is just going to be where we're making diamonds. Now, in the future, there is a alternative recipe for diamonds, which is just 1 kimberlite ore into 2 diamonds. Again, it's a rare resource. We'll get to it later in the game, and that's what I'm sort of trying to do. I'm trying to work my way through the earlier parts of the game so we get to the later parts of the game, because we've done the early game before. You know, there's plenty of past series if you want to check more of the early game. Okay, so with you being done, you have diamonds incoming. You've had some strange matter arrive, which means you can make me some graviton lenses, and you are waiting on CPUs. And CPUs, where is that build? Here. You know what? Yoink. Oh. Okay. So I'm pretty sure I saw some of these inboard. There's 19 of them. Okay, I'm going to just move by hand the 19 of them and put them here. Okay. And you are going to make me some wonderful green science. Come on. It's slow. It's a 24-second craft. Also, we've made sure we've sprayed it so we get bonus items out. It's going to be very, very important. And then, unfortunately, our very first green science, we're not going to be able to use, because it's going to be turned directly into warpers. But that's one of the important things I want to have. I want to have... You are going to give me... Well, you're going to give me 8 warpers with a 20% bonus, which means you're going to give me 10 warpers. Which means that this box is going to fill up rapidly. 8... 16. Where's my bonus? Oh, you're gonna do a certain amount of crafts before I get the bonus. It's not a per craft, because you know that would make life too easy. But yes, I have my very first mass-produced warpers, and that now means that in the next episode, well, I'm gonna plug green science in here because eventually this will run properly. But it means in the next episode we need to go and look at where we're going to be visiting next. But also the plan is I need to bail. So this episode's far too long. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you in, well, the very next video. All right, bye.